Aaron Madsen, lead applications here at Aagard. I'm here with Paul Jensen, controls engineer. And today we're going to show you a feature that's included on Aagard machines. It's called Rapid Launch. And Paul's going to help me add a new recipe to the machine. And then we're going to change the machine over and just kind of show you how smooth that process can be with Rapid Launch.
Yeah, all right, Aaron, let's start with the first thing that we're gonna do is create a new recipe. So first thing you're gonna do is select the top banner to produce a new recipe. As you can see, there's already 2 recipes in the PLC. We're gonna select an open recipe option. We're gonna select download. This is gonna commit the PLC to this recipe that we're editing. Next, we're going to edit the name of this recipe. And currently, we use SKU numbers or whatever the customer's preference is for the naming. But in this case, we'll just use the SKU number of the case.
So we'll use 8229. Hit enter.
Yep. And then all the names are filled.
Awesome.
So next we're gonna fill out the data of the recipes. Notice that we have adjustment data, incoming product data, cube data, and offset data. So next we're gonna update that. So if we go back to the home screen, this gear in a box is called our product data. So go ahead and select that, Aaron. The first entry point is the rate of the incoming product. So this is the number of cases that upstream would be sending to the Aagard.
Awesome. So we said that was 25 cases per minute. I'll hit enter.
Yep, it's filled out.
So we're done with that. What do we go to next here?
Next, we'll go to the incoming product. This is defining what type of product that's gonna be coming into the Aagard.
Okay. So I see there's a length, width, and a height.
Yeah, and so to get the orientation of those measurements, if you select the underlined line, it's gonna populate a picture of the product as it flows into the Aagard. So go ahead, Aaron, you can measure.
So as far as the orientation, it'll tell you exactly how this case needs to come in.
Yep, that's correct, yep.
So first we'll measure the length here. We're at about 397 millimeters.
Okay.
And then the width, it's about 254. And the height, looks like we're right at 340. We hit enter there.
Yep.
All right, what's next?
So the last little entry item is cases or cartons. So this unitizer can input either club cartons or cases. In our case, we're using cases.
Okay, so I see that's already filled out there.
Yep. And then next we'll go to the cube data.
Okay, right here?
Yep. So in the cube data section, we're defining our cube. So the number of layers, rows per layer, products per row.
Awesome, so we said there was 3 layers per cube.
Yep.
So we'll enter 3.
How many rows per layer on this recipe?
We've got 4.
Okay. Now, as you put 4 in, it's gonna show the number of products per row you need to enter.
Oh, awesome.
Yep.
So that's easy. So I know it's 12 per layer, so that each one of these will be 3.
Yep. There you go. Yep.
All right, so we got our cube pattern built.
Yep. And then the next thing you wanna check is sheet on layers. Right now, none of those are selected because they're darkened. What we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna wanna put a slip sheet and tier sheet on these layers. Okay. So go ahead and select all of those.
All right.
Now they'll put a tier sheet and a slip sheet on the cube. The rest of this information is tier sheet length. This is the length of the tier sheet as it transverses across the cube. We are gonna use current data that we have of our cube dimensions.
Okay.
And the rest of this is for slip sheet dimensions.
So if I did want to know like the orientation of the slip sheet, is there a spot just like the cases where we can check?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. If you select the underlined line of the slip sheet length, it's gonna show you, yep, how to measure a slip sheet properly and input that data correctly.
Awesome, well, that's easy enough.
Yeah. Now that we have all that data filled out, we're gonna go to our adjustments data, which is this 1, 2, 3 page.
Okay.
This is our changeover screen. So currently, as you can see, the value is all 0. This is a brand new recipe. We have no data for this. Since we input the input data, the incoming product, and the cube data, now we can use suggested values. This is part of our rapid launch system. So if you go ahead and select suggested values, a column is going to show up here on the right. And these are the suggested values calculated from the input and the fixed lines of the machine. Now, with a brand new recipe like this, Aaron, we can copy these suggested values over into our actual values to make the changeover process fast.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, how do I do that?
First, select this edit button. And then there's this button on the top right, copy suggested values. Now I'd like to highlight, it's gonna give you a warning box because this is a big change. We're overwriting suggested values with current data. So this wouldn't be ideal for an existing recipe that's already been running. But for a brand new recipe, we can just go ahead and add it.
Okay, so I say okay.
Yep. And then yes, do it anyway.
Ask me again.
Yep.
Say yes.
Now all the data's filled out.
Yeah, so it filled out all the data for our new recipe for every changeover size. So when you say suggested values, what exactly does that mean?
That means we're using, for example, the case width to set our rail width based off of the fixed lines of the machine.
Okay.
So it's a nice way of quickly changing over a machine based off of already known features of the machine.
Awesome. So just by entering the length, width, and height, it can calculate everything. So what do we do next?
Next, let's go change over the machine. It's ready to get changed over.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, sweet.